do want to start with that and acknowledge and thank all the veterans, past and present, around the world for what they do for us and what they do for our freedom in our country, and we do greatly appreciate them here at the University of Kentucky, and I certainly do. So thank you for your service. As I mentioned after the game, just extremely difficult game. Extremely difficult outcome. Very proud of the way our team played and competed, and across the board really did some very good things to put our team in a position to win. As I mentioned afterwards, it's not some coaching cliche or ways for you guys to pounce on me about it, but we have to find a way to get those yards, inches, yards, plays, critical moments. We have to find ways to execute and to make those plays happen. Right now, the way we're playing, the margin for error is extremely small, but we're playing extremely hard. Guys are doing a lot of good things. It gets down to a few plays.
Mark, how difficult is it to evaluate the direction of the offense when, on the one hand, I think you've averaged 17 points a game with Lynn, which puts a bunch of pressure on your defense and your special teams, but on the other hand, if you get 2 yards at the end, you're 3-1 with that offense. How do you make those decisions?
Yeah, it gets difficult. It really does. We kick that around every week, and as you know, and you watch our games, every play, every possession is critical. Even whether you throw it or run, because we have a lot of explosive runs in that game. If you throw an incomplete pass, you're behind the chains. It gets tough. That balance, and we are confident in Lynn's throwing ability. I will say this. Tennessee's a good matchup with us right now because they are stout up front, as I mentioned, going into the game, and they've been covering very well, and they've been creating a lot of interceptions. So their back end has been playing well. I felt like, even you look at, possession 8, I think when we were stopped on downs, we had a shot there, for a huge play, a potential touchdown or a big gainer, and we miss it. We just miss it by a little bit. So I think every week we look at the best opportunity to win, and you look at a big portion of that game, and you just look at the drive chart, and it frustrates or baffles all of us how you lose a game like that. But you look at the possessions and you look at where we went. We had 1 3-and-out all day. We only had 1 3-and-out, and that's the first half of the first possession of the second half. After that, we only have 3 more drives. We drive it for 9 plays, end zone downs. We drive it for another 9 plays, starting from our own 5-yard line. It goes all the way into Tennessee territory again. Overcome a holding call and essentially a 22-yard swing. And ends on downs again there. And then the last drive, you take it and it's a 12 plays, and you end up on the 2-yard line. And so, that's tough to answer, right? Yeah. So put yourself in these shoes, and because that's a lot of good against a good, defensive team. It's just a matter of finding some explosive plays. And but it is a balance. It is something to think about. It's hard when you have 9 possessions in a game. It's a lot easier to say after the fact, hey, give Sawyer, 3 series. But every play, every series is so important. And again, with Lynn, we have been very effective. We've been moving the football.
Mark, how hard would that be though, when you're essentially running the wishbone, more or less, to then throw in a passing quarterback and start running the spread? How realistic is that?
It is hard. However, we do work on our base offense all week, and Lynn does it as well. So if Lynn's not a quarterback, all of our players and the route running and everything is still there. A lot of the core of our offense is still there. Now, some of the unique plays built for Lynn are totally new.
But just in terms of timing and all that, I would think it would be really hard to do.
It is hard. It is. There's no question. There's no doubt about it. You have to, continue to build to your strengths. which you feel give you the best opportunity to win. It's tough.
Like you said, you're confident in Lynn's throwing abilities, passing. Is he confident in his throwing ability? It seemed like there were some plays where they're called pass plays, but he took off running, which I don't blame him. He can really run the ball, and is there a fine line there?
It is. You know, it's a tough balance there, truthfully, because Lynn really does have confidence in throwing ability and wants to throw it. And probably at times, you know, wants to keep him more off balance, and we do as well. You know, you watch that game, and here's part of it. They didn't necessarily play a lot like Missouri, where they just completely loaded the box. You know, as I told you against Missouri, I felt like there were definitely pass plays there. The weather dictated it, and we were creating some explosive plays in the run game. So we didn't have to go to it as much by the way they were playing. Tennessee didn't go to that extreme. They mixed it in and did a nice job, but again, we created very explosive run plays. But they didn't just wholesale put everybody up there, you know, to just give us some, I should say, you know, give us the greater opportunity of throwing the ball. You know, so you have to see how teams play you, because those guys have been covering good. So a couple of those, you know, where we had some pass plays, it wasn't like he had quick, you know, really free throws. And there's times where that takes, you know, a rhythm. It takes timing. It takes, you know, proper reads on the side. And he does a lot of things good. We just got to try to put him in the best position we can. And predictable pass is not the best situation to be in.
Mark, after the game on Saturday, you lamented how, especially in short yardage situations, your team was so one-dimensional. I mean, if Sawyer really is healthy, why the hesitancy in maybe putting him in and giving yourself another dimension?
I don't recall exactly if I phrased it exactly how you just did right there, but as I mentioned, you know, if you go through that game and you really study it and watch it, and you look at the drives and the efficiency that we did have, it was extremely good. Now, with that being said, understanding that we have to cap off a few plays, but getting to that point, the efficiency was pretty darn good. So, you know, that is a tough balance right there, and it's a fair question. It's hard to do. Put it like this, you know, the last 3 drives, you know, 9 plays, 12 plays. You get that one in, and I do that something different. You're sitting here calling me a complete idiot, right? I mean, right? You get that last 2 yards, what are y'all saying? You know, what, I mean, really, think about it. What would you say to me then?
Last week, a lot of fans are worried about you heading to Florida State, and you know this past few days, some people are trying to fire you. What do you just make it?
As I said last week, I guess it's better than the alternative. See, I never get too far in front of my seat. Trust me. Let's worry about Vandy, and that's all my concentration is. And our team was ready, and we'll get them ready again, and that's all it is. But yeah, you're right. That's the nature of this job. When, you know, one minute they love you, the next week they're trying to run you out of here. And you know, I am very thankful for the job I have.